My name is Bree, and today I'm just gonna bring you through a quite short full body opening. I like to call it like a morning flow. So we'll start at the top of the mat and get grounded. As you come to the top of the mat, spread nice and wide through your toes. Face your palms forward. Your feet are about hip distance apart or touching. If it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes and begin to refresh your posture. Pull the shoulders up and back onto the back plane of the body. From the pelvis, stretch down and out through the legs and long through the spine. Send your fingertips down towards the earth. Create a gentle tone to the navel. Begin to notice the quality of your breath. You may notice that the breath is short and shallow, or it's naturally a little bit deeper as you step on your mat. Begin to manipulate your breath. Use your inhales to find expansion, expanding from the pelvis down and out through the legs into the earth. And as you exhale, softly pull navel to spine, find some strength in the legs. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at heart center, a prayer. Take a moment to just set an intention for your practice. Maybe that intention is simply to show up and be present for this moment, for the full duration of the class, the practice. Inhale through your nose. Open up through the mouth, let it go, HA. Take a soft bow, forehead to fingertips. Lift your skull up. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, grab your right wrist, side bend up and over towards the left side body stretch. Inhale, come up through center, switch your clasp, and take that side bend up and over the other way. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, and cactus your arms, open up through the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another as you pull the tops of the ears back. Inhale, pull navel to spine. Lift your ribcage up and away from the hips. Exhale, twist. Bring your right arm back, left arm forward. Rotation of the spine. Keep the hips square. Inhale, circle your hand down, come back through center. Exhale, twist the opposite arm back. This time you're gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, bring your hand back through center. Exhale, chair pose. Sink your hips low. Pull the navel up and in. So in chair pose, the belly is nice and strong, core engaged, but the hips actually do go back into space here. Inhale, from the back of the heart, stretch out long through your arms. Exhale, bring your arms behind you, stay in your chair, interlace your hands behind your back, lift up through the heart, breath in. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana with a bind. Lift your shoulders up, drop your arms over the back body. In a forward fold, it doesn't have to be so stiff. You can bend your knees a little bit, especially if you're feeling a little tighter today. Breathe. Actively breathe in and out through your nose. Create a little constriction in the back of the throat, the epiglottis. Starting to activate through Ujjayi breath. Release your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Maybe the hands come to the shin. Take all the rounding out of your back. Exhale, fold. Bring your fingertips to the earth. Step your left leg back. Straighten out through your right leg. This is where blocks could come in handy. If you only have one, it would be placed on the inside edge of your front foot. Press the right big toe mound down into the mat and pull back into space. Lift the right side of your belly up and away from the thigh. Right now you're targeting the back of the leg, your hamstring. On an inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover or it lightly taps on the earth. Pull your shoulders back, coming into spinal extension. Exhale, straighten and fold, spinal flexion. Two more like that. Inhale, come forward, spinal extension. And exhale, round, spinal flexion. Last time, inhale, come forward towards that cow spine. Pause. Ground your back knee, reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Low lunge is a really good way to stretch your back hip flexor. Your hip flexor lands about right here, at least one of them does. Grab your left wrist. Adding to that stretch, take a side bend over towards the right. Kind of bow at a little bit of an angle here. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up through the heart. Inhale, pull navel to spine, reach your arms high. Exhale, now this is a thigh stretch. I'm gonna give you a few options. This will be for those of you that are more open. Bring your arms back, bend your knee and grab your foot. Rest your right arm on your thigh. Pull your left heel towards your bum. If that's like a hell no, then we can always adjust. You're welcome to keep your left hand on the earth and take twisted monkey. Reach your right arm around to grab for that left foot. That's a little bit more accessible. If neither of those are feeling too good for you, bending and releasing the leg actually does allow your thigh to stretch. Take one more breath in whatever posture you've chosen to stretch the front of your thigh, your quad. Stay strong through the core. Give a little kick with your foot into the hand as you pull the heel towards the bum. And release your foot. Heel toe your right foot over towards the left, pigeon pose. Squeeze your knees towards each other. Find a little bit of strength in your pigeon. Pull the belly up and in, no hands. And then fold forward. Bring your forehead to rest on your hands. You could also add a shoulder stretch here if you'd like, weaving your left arm through the right for a little bit of a twist and stretching through the upper anterior deltoid. Take about 4 deep breaths here. Begin to unwind. Plant your hands. Press the earth away, kind of like you're coming into a plank, and reach your leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip. Take some swivels with your knee in one direction and then the other. Begin to straighten out through the legs, square through the hip. Plant your right foot next to the left. Down dog. Stay strong in your down dog. Look up at your hands. See that the hands are nice and active. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Press the earth away, nice and strong. From your plank, shift your shoulders past your wrists, lower down for 3, 2, 1. Ground your hips. Inhale, come up through cobra pose. Press the tops of the feet down as you pull the head of your arm bones back into space. Exhale, fold. Keep those actions. Again, inhale, rise up. Bhujangasana. Tug the hands back into space. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, take it all the way down. Bring your left arm to a cactus shape or a goalpost. Your right hand fingertips are on the ground. Pivot to the outside edge of your left hip. Pull your right shoulder back into space. Right now you're stretching through your chest. Maybe you bend your right knee and plant your right foot behind you. Take a few deep breaths here. Come back through center, second side. So you'll simply just switch it up. Right arm, the elbow and the shoulder come to line up. The arm is making a 90-degree angle and roll to the right hip. And your right, not your right head. I guess you only have one head. Your head can be lifted or it can be lowered. So I guess I was trying to say your right ear could be off of the ground or it could be almost touching the ground. Pull that left hip or left shoulder back and then bend your left knee, maybe opening up the hip and planting your left foot behind you. Continue to amplify the breath into the front of the body to stretch the chest through the pectoral muscle. And come back through center. Bring your hands by your chest. Inhale, come up through cobra. So in cobra, your hips are heavy, strong legs. Now up dog, only the hands and the feet are on the mat. Pull your heart through. Flip your toes or tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring your hands, or bring your feet wide. Let's do that. Bring your feet wide and bring your fingers to touch, your thumbs to touch, I should say. Inhale, come high onto your tiptoes. Exhale, take a deep bend in the knees. Hop your way up to a Malasana squat. So go wide with your feet. Bring your hands to a prayer. In a Malasana squat, the hips can go as low as you want as long as you're not tucking. You don't want to push your pelvis forward, but rather the hips are going to go back a little bit into space. Stay long through your spine. Squeeze the elbows, or push the elbows into the knees and squeeze the knees into the elbows. Ground your fingertips on the mat. Send your hips up and back. Turn your toes in, heels out. Functional forward fold. So in this one, line up the outside edge of your feet with the long edge of the mat. Come forward with your block, bend your knees a little, and send your hips way back behind your heels. You have so much weight back into space, it's almost like you're gonna fall backwards here. Now squeeze your shins towards each other like magnets. Widen and broaden through your upper inner thighs. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the sides of your waist. Take all of the rounding out, so that might mean bringing the hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale, circle sweep, reach all the way up and high. Exhale, palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come to a little chair pose, sink your hips low. Now stretch down and out through your left leg. Pull the right knee in, one-legged Tadasana. Open your hips, squeeze that glute. Now just to test our balance here, coming into a little bit of a floating tree, bring the foot to about the inner edge of the thigh or the knee, but don't touch the thigh or the knee. So it's really active. And then bend your opposite elbow. It doesn't really matter which one you do. Take a tricep stretch. Your opposite hand comes to the elbow tip. So I'm working on stretching here through the left elbow and bringing the right foot in towards the inner thigh. Working on both kind of sides of the body at the same time to just add a little bit of difficulty here in the balance. Squeeze your left glute in towards the midline. Keep your gaze at one fixed point to help with your balance. Release your arms to the sky, lift your knee up, close through the hip, straighten your leg, and slow and controlled release your foot next to the left. Second side, so spread through the, well actually, inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair, just the same way we came in. This time, spread through your right toes. Stretch down and out through that right leg, left knee lifts. Open up through the hip, and then bring your foot real close in. The sole of the foot is like floating on the inner edge of the thigh. This time, your right elbow bends. You can bring your hand to the elbow tip for a little extra intensity in your tricep stretch. We have one more side to go after this. Stick with it, breathe. Take a moment to just check back in with the rhythm of the breath. Work to make it an even fluctuation of breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. Squeeze that left glute nice and strong, or the right glute nice and strong. Bring the knee up and close through the hip. Straighten your leg and release your foot down and your arms by your sides. Bring one hand to your heart and the other on top of that. Take a moment to just breathe. Feel your connection to the feet on the earth. Maybe you close your eyes and let your awareness drop inward. And just notice how it feels to show up for your body for just a few moments, for a few minutes. Letting the distractions, the to-do list, or whatever else is normally on your mind kind of fade away so that you can reset yourself for the rest of the day to come. Blink your eyes open, inhale, reach up. Exhale, long spine, so reversing the halfway lift to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, step your right leg back, straighten out through your left knee. Pull the left hip back as you wrap your right hip forward. This time you want to work to pull the left side of the belly up and away from the thigh. So it doesn't matter how thin you are, because you can still have the action of pushing the belly out. We want to pull it up and in to stay strong. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and folds, cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. So we call it cow because it's spinal extension. Exhale, round cat for spinal flexion. Last time, inhale, come forward for that Anjaneyasana variation. And exhale, straighten and fold. Bend into your front knee. Ground your back knee. Rise up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Create a slight internal rotation of your back thigh to square the hips. They're never going to be completely square because it's an asymmetrical pose. Inhale. Exhale, grab your right wrist, side bend up and over towards the left. Press down and out through the power of your legs, especially your left big tall mound. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, open your arms, cactus. Inhale, reach your arms high, pull the back of the rib cage away from the hips. Now, if you're going for that more intense thigh stretch, bend into your hips, bring your arms back, and grab your foot. Your left hand can come to brace on your thigh as you pull your right heel towards your bum. If you wanted that twisted monkey, kind of different, both hands come down and then your left arm reaches up and around to grab for the opposite foot. So pick which thigh stretch works for you, or you can skip it and just work on bending the knee and releasing for a more dynamic range of motion stretch rather than a static stretch. So a dynamic stretch just means you're moving to stretch the muscle, and a static is a strong hold, a still hold. Take 2 breaths where you're at. We're almost there. Release that foot. Heel toe your left foot now over towards the right, pigeon. In your pigeon, squeeze those knees in. Get long and tall through your spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to rest, or you're on the ground, bring your head to rest on your hands. Keep the integrity in your structure, pulling the knees in. But at the same time, from the pelvis, expand out long through the right leg and long through your spine. Hug your back right shin in towards the midline. Notice the sensation building in the hip space. And breathe. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. Inhale, start to lift up. Plant your hands. Press the earth away really strong. Reach your leg up. Take a few circles with your knee in one direction, and take those few circles with your knee in the other direction. Start to straighten out the leg, square through the hip, and ground your foot next to the right. Inhale, come high onto your tiptoes. Exhale, take a gentle bend in the knees. Listen carefully. You're going to glide your shins to land up by your hands, like so. It's okay if your mat folds. Roll to one hip and find yourself in a seat. As you land in a seat, pull the flesh of the butt back. Just ending with a little bit of breath here. Ground your hands on your knees. Let's go hands face down for some grounding energy. Bring your pointer finger and your thumb to touch. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Refresh the posture. Check in with the quality of your breath. Noticing if it feels the same as when you started or different. Let go of breath in the lungs, HA. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your breath out. Hold empty for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, controlled. 4, 3, 2, 1. Contract through your core as you squeeze it out and hold empty. Retention of the exhale. This can feel a little uncomfortable, but remember, you are in control of this breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Strong container of the breath, the prana. The prana is like the life force energy, the vitality that this element gives you. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the breath out and hold empty. Last cycle here. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Connect your palms at Anjali Mudra. A mudra is an energetic seal, and Anjali is like reverence or offering. It's a symbol of either of those things. Feel into your heart space and just take note of how this practice has affected you today. Inhale through your nose. Cleansing breath out through the mouth, HA. Bring your thumb to your third eye. The light and the dark in me bows to the light and the dark in you. Namaste.